Man, get up here in the Loft to get your head right.
Howdy, howdy, homies, and welcome to the Loft. Now, for all of those who say that the Bible is pro-slavery, let me run this by you. The Bible says that if you kidnap a person and you sell them, ergo force somebody into the slave trade, that is punishable by death. Holding a person against their will at your pleasure is slavery. This foul foursome here violated the commandment to not steal. They stole a person. They stole this person's liberty. They stole his right to pursue happiness. They intruded on his health and stole his blood. To the Lord, this is detestable, and this puts you on his dookie list for real. Ha ha, you said dookie. That's right, I did say dookie, Demo. You better get used to it, because you got the deepest doo-doo coming to you. Now, why are we still dealing with this racism crap? Well, slavery is part of it. Because we did have wicked people who violated the commandment to not take the Lord's name in vain and cherry-picked verses of the Bible and assumed that slavery was okay without squaring it by the rest of Scripture. Do not take the Lord's name in vain. Do not use God to justify sinning against others. That is taking the Lord's name in vain to justify your own pleasure. You can't steal and say that God said it's okay. Now, unfortunately, too many black folks have been brainwashed into thinking that white folks are at the root of slavery. Wrong? Yeah, you had white folks that were buying black slaves from other blacks who have been enslaving other blacks for thousands of years. Why ain't y'all mad at black folks? Or maybe y'all are. Because too many of y'all commit more violent crimes against each other more than any other race in America. And when y'all commit these crimes against each other, you say the most disgusting, bigoted things you can say to each other out of pure hatred. And this happens way too often. But when a small group of black folks do it to a white person, all of a sudden it's news. And when a white cop uses lethal force against a black person, it's news. It's the best thing on television. I'm a good producer. You produce smut. Yeah, but Americans still watch by the millions. Maybe you should let me produce some of your videos, Zoe. Maybe more people will actually start watching them instead of you being lucky enough to get a few thousand hits, you has-been. No thanks. Anyway, why is this news? Well, it's because liberal ideals that brainwash our country don't want to see us as one people. They want diversity and want you to think that diversity is a good thing when all diversity is a sugar-coated, deceptive way of saying divide. Now, whether a black person committed a crime against another black person or a white person, the outrage should be the same. It's still a person, and no matter what, the crime is motivated by hate. Now, so the white people who are outraged by this, who say, if this were a white group who did this to a black person, then we'd see some outrage. Okay, bear with me, but that's not really a constructive perspective because for many decades, whites were able to commit atrocities against black people, and justice wasn't so swift. And the whites who were doing this would ultimately add up to becoming the Democrat Party. And the white folks who wanted to maintain supremacy and apartheid over black folks voted Democrat. They wanted diversity too. White folks over here, coloreds over here. So for white people saying, if this was the other way around, ho, pump your brakes. It has been the other way around. And I keep trying to tell y'all that you need to be more aggressive, yet with finesse, that you need to make the case that it wasn't white people in general who instituted the racism that blacks are still so angry about. It was Democrats. Like Democrats who didn't want black folks to be educated. And here it is today. Democrats oppose school choice for blacks wanting a better selection for their kids' course of education. Democrats who didn't want blacks to have Second Amendment rights. And here it is today, Democrats intruding on Second Amendment rights and using blacks to infringe on the Second Amendment. Oh, the irony. They're the same, man. Democrats hide behind the very monster they feed saying that it's white people in general or that it's white privilege. When it's the Democrats. The areas where this race-based crap keeps happening is run by Democrats. And in their containment, these people are fed the same crap year in and year out. Over and over again, poisoned with dysfunctionality. It's an institute now to be raised with no fathers, feeling abandoned, raised by bitter mothers trying to play both parents and not knowing how to direct their resentment. No wonder we're revisiting the growing problem of people being confused about their gender. We've had mothers trying to play fathers for years. Young males trying to learn how to be men from other boys. Girls growing up having no idea how a real man behaves. And it all contributes to more bitterness. They take this brokenness in their lives and they take it out into the streets and take it out on each other. So they can feel some sense of power because they feel powerless at home. And it feels good and powerful for them to subject someone else to their frustration. Yes, hate makes you powerful. Let the hate flow through you. Shut up. And one of those senses of power that they're seduced and suckered by is black power. When ironically, it's one of their biggest weaknesses. Black power or white power or whatever in between isn't a show of strength. It's a show of a mentality of weakness. Anyway, pretty much that so-called black power is the only thing that they've been fooled into thinking that matters, and that the white boogeyman is trying to take it from them. Year in and year out, they're poisoned with this thinking. The truth that they're missing is that it's white Democrats who have been stealing any power they have, and they still don't see it. And remember, y'all, that's why the Democrat KKK is called the Invisible Empire. But history will have a funny way of repeating itself. Black on black crime is fine in these Democrat-run communities. But when it breaks containment and white Democrats start to become a more frequent target, you just might start to see Democrats getting a little more aggressive with denying gun rights to black folks. You just might start to see legislation put in that seems to want black folks over here and white folks over here. It's already happening, and Democrats are setting up where blacks are happy to do it. So don't be surprised when Democrats will have successfully segregated blacks again. Democrats keep trying to keep black folks shackled to them, and it ends up having a bloody result. We're going down that road again because Democrats refuse to let black people go. And what's worse, too many black folks refuse to let Democrats go. They got brain chains on them now, and when you just slap chains on people like that, they become toxic and violent. The Democrats have them trapped in their recycling and ingesting the same old poison, the same insecurities, the same paranoia, the same animosities. They stay stuck in these Democrat-run communities with the keys to unlock these chains in their pocket while being suckered into believing that it's some white man keeping them down. Yet they keep voting for them. But when they do try to better themselves and leave and grow, they get accused of being sellouts and wanting to be like the white man. This is the poison thinking that Democrats keep them trapped in, like crabs in a bucket. And I do love a crab dinner. Good for you. You know why I love crabs though? Don't care. 'Cause God hates it. Oh, and I know you like crabs though. Wanna join me for some crabs though? No. Come on, Zoe. Let me treat you to some crabs. I mean crab. Dude, shut up. I'm trying to work. Anyway, the coup de grace of the Democrats' plan is to implicate Republicans as the guilty party that represents racist white folks. And unfortunately, too many black people fall for it and don't see how the invisible empire has suckered them into the same belligerence that has always been the Democrat Party, using hostility, assault, and terrorism to force their view. Democrats haven't changed. This here corrupt quartet tortured this man for being white and I guess for being Republican. You know, Democrats actually do have a history of kidnapping white Republicans and executing them. Thank God they didn't kill this man, but obviously it doesn't look like things have changed. And y'all are suckered into thinking that the party switched sides. Belligerent young hoodlums like these would put on hoods and sheets, kidnap Republican whites as well as blacks, and torture them to death. And you got shallow people like Rebecca Ferguson wanting to sing Strange Fruit, as if black people were the only people that the KKK were lynching. They were lynching white people too, because they were Republicans. That's right, you guessed it. That means that white Republicans were strange fruit too. And here it is, this group carrying on the Democrat tradition of kidnapping people and torturing them because they're different. So much for tolerance. Oh, but I'm sure they feel justified though. Yeah, Democrats always feel justified for their belligerence. But regardless of all that, what this group did was evil, cowardly, and disgraceful. And of course, Democrats don't want you to see this video. That's because your work sucks, Zoe. Man, shut up. Because Democrats don't want black folks to figure out who they are and take their vengeance out on them. So they'll just sit back and be happy that somebody's getting tortured for being a Republican. And conservatives, you're kind of your own worst enemy in this because you remain dismissive of the influence of pop culture. You keep saying, just ignore them. Who cares what these people in the industry think? You totally underestimate the influence of music, movies, and television. Meanwhile, the entertainment industry is constantly promoting propaganda to condition people to hate you. And while you keep convincing yourselves that nobody cares what these people think, people are becoming more and more violent as the news and entertainment industry promotes hatred against you. I mean, how many people have to be attacked before you start to see how much influence they have? and start to see the importance of entertainment media as a counter narrative in pop culture. They're never gonna support your work as much as you need, Zoe, because your work sucks. Man, you know what? Ooh, yeah, go ahead, Zoe. Say something like I would say. Never mind. Thanks again for hanging out with me in the Zoloft, y'all. Be sure to share with your friends, family, even people who get on your nerves. Because remember, y'all, when you share and support my work, a little bit of leftism dies. You're a punk, Demo. Ha ha, you said dookie.